Hey guys, Jarek here, going to be doing some more Call of Duty Black Ops 1. This time we're doing some team deathmatch on the map Havana, which this isn't my favorite map, but I'm kind of indifferent about it. And I'm going to be using the FAMAS, yes, the overpowered try-hard gun, the FAMAS, even though a lot of people complain about it. My load-up is going to be a FAMAS with an extended magazine, a Python with a speed reloader, Hardline, Sleight of Hand Pro, and Ninja. Now the FAMAS, people complained about the FAMAS like crazy in this game. Honestly, I'm not entirely sure why, because to me the gun didn't feel overpowered, it just felt very, very easy to use. It was the gun that was kind of the best all-around gun. You could use it at almost any distance. But it wasn't going to outperform really anything. Up close, an SMG is still going to beat it. I mean, the only time it's really going to outperform everything is at medium range. So, I don't know, it's just one of those guns that a lot of people use because it was easy to use. And since everyone is using it, people would say it's overpowered as hell. They did patch it later on though, because they did acknowledge at least that they wanted people to use some other guns, and they did acknowledge at least that the gun had sort of minimal recoil, a little bit less than the AUG, so I kind of patched it a little bit, gave it a little bit more recoil. They made the recoil sway to the left and right a little bit more so you wouldn't recoil upward and get headshots. They did patch it and balance it in, so I guess the bottom line of this is stop bitching about the FAMAS, it's fine. Anyway, this game. So this game was okay at the beginning. I was not really doing amazing. Some dick was running around with a ballistic knife and just knifing people like crazy. That's all he was really doing. And he was honestly starting to get on my nerves because he was the only person that was killing me. And if people kill me straight up with another gun and they should have gotten that kill, then, you know, I'm all fine for it. I can't really get mad about that. But when people run into the room and just fucking knife you, that pisses me off. And he was the only guy that was really killing me, as I said before. However, I do get the last laugh because fuck you, ballistic knife guy. Anyway, going to be talking about Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2. So when I was playing Black Ops 2, I kind of noticed something. In Black Ops 2, there isn't really a whole lot of actually licensed guns. A lot of the guns in Black Ops 2 don't actually exist in real life. A good example is the KAP-40. This is a big change from previous Call of Duty games where it's basically always been product placement, especially when it comes to Infinity Ward. Say, any Remington gun is going to have a gigantic Remington logo slapped on the side of it. Now, I'm not really complaining about this. In fact, having real guns inside your video games gives me some incentive to actually play your game because I have, you know, guns are a part of my hobby. I enjoy guns. I like shooting guns. I find them interesting, so it's going to appeal to me and it's going to draw a lot of interest out of people because people like guns. But in Black Ops 2, this isn't really there. Most of the guns are fictional and not actual guns. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not really complaining too much about this because a lot of the guns are kind of interesting by design, but it does make me question, why is there a lack of actual guns? I do understand Black Ops 2 is supposed to be in the future, and, you know, we're not in the future yet, so obviously we don't have guns from the future. But it does bring up a question, and it did make me think a little bit, and then I kind of thought about previous Call of Duty games made by Treyarch. So Treyarch made World at War, this is World War II, you gotta have the Thompson, you gotta have the Bar. These are old guns, you don't have to worry about copyright, you don't have to worry about legal issues, you don't have to worry about getting sued, so that kind of doesn't matter. In Black Ops 1, this is sort of the same thing. It's in the 80s, a lot of the guns are old, the AK-47, the Galil, stuff like that. You don't have to worry about patents or copyright infringement, you don't have to worry about lawsuits. So, in Black Ops 1, it kind of didn't matter either. And also in Black Ops 1, a lot of the guns that actually existed in real life, like say the FAMAS, didn't really look the same in the game like they did in real life. Like you can see, I'm using the FAMAS right here. It kind of is supposed to be, they explain this, it's supposed to be a prototype of the FAMAS, and it looks quite a bit different from the real-life FAMAS. And now this suddenly makes a little bit more sense as to why the guns in Black Ops 2 aren't real. They're not just, you know, guns taken from real life, made into a video game render. And real quick, before I go on with my conversation or thing I'm talking about here, I kind of got trapped near their spawn. That's their spawn right outside the building to the left. I really didn't have anywhere to go here. I just kind of stayed inside of this building, and they were all pouring in, so why do I have any reason to leave? This is kind of their fault for running in this door over and over again. But I didn't want to leave because as soon as I left, I was just going to get shot. There was really nothing I could do, but I did manage to get my attack dogs there. But yeah, as I was saying, it does sort of make sense as to why there's less real guns in Black Ops 2, because Treyarch has sort of always gone for the kind of interesting, different fictional weapons like they did in Black Ops 1. But it still makes me question why there isn't more real guns. I know that's kind of what, it seems to be what Treyarch wants to do, or it might just possibly be Activision doesn't want to spend money on it. Activision maybe wants to spend more money on Infinity Ward, which is, you know, the bigger selling Call of Duty name, which is kind of sad in my opinion, because I always prefer Treyarch Call of Duties instead of Infinity Ward Call of Duties, because Treyarch actually tries to add a little bit of balance into the game. And it's, you know, it's a Call of Duty game, there's only so much you can do to it. But Infinity Ward Call of Duty sometimes can be laughably horrible on balance, and it's just incredibly frustrating to play. But yeah, maybe it just has to do with Activision not wanting to spend the money to get, you know, the rights to use certain real guns inside their video games. And I'm more than willing to bet that's what it is, but it could just be Treyarch going, we want to get some of our, you know, we want our artists to get some credit, we want our artists to be able to make some new stuff. We want to try to be at least a little bit original, which is kind of funny to say when I'm talking about a Call of Duty video game. Yeah, whatever the reason, it does make sense. That's kind of what Treyarch has always done. So I know a lot of people have asked that. I personally thought about that myself and kind of wondered why they wouldn't have real guns when Call of Duty's always had pretty blatant product placement. And like I said, I'm not going to complain about that product placement. If anything, I want that to be there because I do like real guns and it is my hobby. But whatever the reason, it does sort of make sense. So that's the last kill. Here's the final kill cam. Nothing absolutely special or fantastic in any way. I just saw someone on the radar from my Blackbird and just waited for him to walk around the corner, playing it safe. You know, that's the correct way to do it. Had a pretty decent game. After I got trapped in that room next to their spawn, I got a lot of kills. And with all my kill streaks, I ended up going 40-5. That's a pretty damn decent score. Maybe it could have died a little bit less, but hey, there you go. There's another game of Black Ops 1. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you later.